Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to welcome His Excellency Abdulla bin Touq, who is the Secretary General of the UAE Cabinet. So welcome to LinkedIn offices, Your
Thank you
Excellency.
very much. Thank you, Ali, for the invitation, and thank you guys for being here and being on time as well. I'm really looking forward to discuss more, leadership things with you guys as well.
It's a pleasure. So, probably before we start, Your Excellency, if you allow me, I just want to say a couple of things based on the different interactions we had in the past. I'm pretty sure every one of you have checked His Excellency profile. His Excellency started as an engineer back in the days in a real estate company. And from there, he built his own career by himself. From there, he started in the Prime Minister office. The Prime Minister, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid. Abdullah was the Executive Director in His Highness office. As a matter of fact, that was the first time we started building the interaction together and we get to know His Excellency. After that, he moved into the Executive Office as the Director General. For those of you who don't know government really well, Executive Office is the office of His Highness that is responsible for the most strategic projects in the country. Director General, in other words, is the CEO of that office. So you can imagine the level of interaction and the big responsibility Abdullah bin Touq has. And recently, almost 6-7 months back, he became the Secretary General of the UAE Cabinet. And by doing so, he's currently the youngest ever that this country has seen as Secretary General. You work for the most progressive countries in the world, and by far the most progressive one in this region. Your boss, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, is very well known to be demanding excellence. And I think we all know that and we all see that. One of his famous statements is, in the race of excellence, there is no finish line. So how do you keep the balance between the workload that you have, achieving new milestones, and the planned dreams?
I think the most beautiful thing about His Highness and working on this leadership is how I see it is you are kind of a campaign manager, right? You're always in a campaign, you're trying to always, announce something, deliver, move on, announce something and go on with that kind of aspect. The most important part, working under His Highness perspective, is that this is a land of dreams. So whatever you dream of making happen, that you actually put your mindset to it, you actually make it happen. And this is a country where you actually get to see things happening. If we go back 60,000 years ago, and each and every one had its own personal gain to things, we would not probably survive till now. But humanity took the first principle is how can we work together? How can we live together? And how can we be together? And this is the most beautiful part of how humanity managed to survive 60,000, 70,000 years later. Because if we had our personal agendas and our personal gains, most probably would not be here as a race. We'd probably be extinct by some, with the dinosaurs or so. But these are the most beautiful parts of how the first principle comes together. So when we look at the humanity around the world at the moment, and we see people fighting and see people actually at war and people are, there are personal gains over the public good kind of aspect. And this is the problem we have, is how can we change this and we go with the first principle of life, of humanity. How can we live together? How can we take personal gain? So when taking that in mind, His Highness, he taught us something. He taught us abundance over scarcity. He taught us how to be generous, how to give more to people, and how to work with people. So when we looked at that, His Highness gave us this opportunity, a land of dreams, to work together with different people, different parts, and how to come together and actually moving and achieving something forward. This is the beautiful part of it. So when I learned the first principle and I looked at His Highness leadership, this is the dream come true for us actually. It's somewhere where somebody's giving you abundance and something to give and be generous, and how to co-create together. So many projects we launched, and very recently we launched at Area 2071. I think this is one place where His Highness was there today. And this is a place where we co-create together. And this is the most beautiful part, because we are in this kind of belief of the first principle, the belief of the kind of public gain rather than personal gain. And as a government employee, at the end of the day, I'm not here for my profit. We don't have profit in government. We have public gains, and this is how can we work for the people? How can we change the world for the people?
I would like to ask you, in Dubai they have great vision and they have very big plans, and sometimes it can include some risks. How do you face the fear of taking these plans and then achieving them as you have said?
Yeah. I think And yeah, you don't have a space to fail as well. The most beautiful part of it is that before we go, we take a lot of calculated risk. So we don't really take the risk at heart, but we really calculate for it. So we manage risk and mitigate it. So we know how things will go forward. So for example, if we have a project that we know that if we don't involve the right stakeholders into it, it will not go forward. If we, for instance, this Area 2071 is a place where we're going to create a new economy for Dubai, we don't understand who should be the ecosystem is a bigger risk, right? Who should be part of this actually is a bigger risk. How can we actually, spread it out and make sure that people are operating right? How can we create? So there's a lot of these questions, but we take it step by step and we figure it out. And there's a lot of trial and error, right? We did this, didn't work. It doesn't matter, we don't do it again, we try something different. I think the one important part in our leadership is that there's a lot of trust. And when we say trust, I think it's very important to understand what type of trust it means. Today, I don't know if you guys have seen such trust issues that we have in teams. So for instance, if we work in a team, me, Ali, Raja, and we say, all right, we want to do this. And I go to them and say, no, we've done it before, it didn't happen. Do you hear this, right? Yeah, it's always into the problems. That person doesn't trust you, simple put. It's not because he have done it, he doesn't trust you. And if you even say to him, well, yeah, but at that time you were, it was with different circumstances, different environment. Yeah, but we did it before, it didn't happen. We hear it, right? We hear it many times. That person doesn't trust you. Now those are the grumpies, right? And we call them, I label them the grumpies, right? They're always grumpies and they always, I hope there's no grumpies in the rooms, they help me. But these are the grumpies. And the grumpies are members of the team members, I could be one, who always try to stop this kind of ambiguity, this kind of risk going, right? And they say, right, if you say, all right, and I want to always say, all right, great, you have an experience before. How can you do it better this time? And we push this forward, right? It's good to have this, but we kill this kind of people that will actually take the trust of the team down. This is the most important because this is a big failure for a team. And we cannot have a person that says, we cannot, we did it and it didn't happen, it didn't work. If you've thought about it before, that means that this is a great idea. What happened? Maybe there's some problems, let's change it, let's work on it. And this is the most beautiful part of it, is how can we work as a team and kill this trust away from it, right? Because we need to create this trust that actually builds on really trusting you, even if I did it before and I don't know how we're gonna do it again, but I'm trusting you because I believe in what you have in your mind. Maybe it's different this time, maybe the environment is different, maybe the stakeholders are different, maybe I don't know, changes of, so many things. So my message to you guys, never say we've done it and it didn't work, Take it as something that, rule number one for embracing ambiguity.
About the positive competition within the government, and how did this, this model becomes very successful at certain local governments, such as Dubai, for example. Why have Dubai led the way, and the others were grumpy on the way, although it's the same leadership, the same team, and the same resources that they have.
So you said it, I think in your words, it's the team, the challenges, right? So when we come into leadership, the most important part is not the vision as much as it, because we can write beautiful visions, but after a month we don't remember them, right? The most important, and we say, make the vision very simple, right? So we can remember it. But at the end of the day, we lose the vision. But there's one thing that we don't lose is the values of the organization. The most important for success is creating the right value in a team. So embracing ambiguity is one. Trust is the another one. There is one, which is that, when a person argues with you, and then he goes back and say, all right, the boss made a decision, but he still argues, and he says, all right, we made a decision, let's move forward. He gives you the crocodile hand. You know what the crocodile hand is? Like the short hand. He wants to help, but it's too short for the help. You've seen this, right? You've seen this all the time, right? And the most beautiful part of this is actually, remove your crocodile hands and give me your full-fledged hands. I know you argue with me on this. You don't agree with me on the way forward, but we committed. So the most important part is how to commit to a decision, right? Even if you think it's wrong, but we committed, right? When we fail altogether. And this is the most important part, because if you have one single member of the team who gives you the crocodile hand, you're not going to achieve anything. You're going to have the grumpies, you're going to have the people who are going to move forward, and this is the most important part. So lose the crocodile hands, give me the full-fledged kind of human hands, right? The ones that, have muscles with it, and, I know you don't agree, but, let's commit. Let's commit to this. And commitment is the most important part of moving as a strong team. So when we have this, His Highness created a beautiful value in the team. If you read his books, he's read his values and his vision, you'll find these beautiful values he creates in the team. It's not competition. It's more about these kind of challenges that comes together, that teams want really, create stuff. And it's more out of challenge at the moment, or competition. It's more about how it's a land of dreams, right? You have an idea, you think about it, next day it's implemented, right? And it's done on the ground. And we need more of this. So one hand cannot clap, but one hand can clap with the other hands, right? And work together on this and move forward.